Hi everyone, welcome back. So it is time for the finale for Pan That Palette for the year of 2016. I cannot believe that the time has gone by so fast. Now I have been working on this palette for about 11 months because I did start the intro in February and this was a brand new palette. So it is kind of shocking for me that I stuck to one palette for a whole year and that I managed to finish up some of the shadows and practically just pan a whole palette. It is just beyond crazy. This is going to be only the finale for the palette that I'm panning, which is the BH Cosmetic Forever Nudes. It's not going to be an intro to the palette that I'm going to be panning on 2017 because I have not decided what I'm going to do with that. I don't know if I'm going to do several small palettes or one big palette or what I'm going to do. And by the looks of some of the other YouTubers that I've been watching, I'm not the only one with this issue. Like, we are having battles as to what to do and how to approach this. One, to make it a little bit different, and two, so to find a way that we can make it not so monotonous and not just having the same palette throughout the year. But I don't know, I'm still looking into it, so I still have some time to decide. But for now, let me update you on my palette. So let me show you what it looked like before for our last update. And I have to warn you that I did rearrange my palette and I do have other shadows in here and they're not all magnetic, so I'm going to try and be very careful with the shadows so they don't all fall out. But basically this is my palette. Just ignore I have some e.l.f. shadows in here, but I have managed, as you can see, to finish up two shadows, one of which was the white highlight shadow that was over here, the brow bone shadow, or the inner corner highlight, or whatever. It was just a light shadow that was over here on this side, and down here I managed to finish the pink shadow that I would use as a transition. So those are the only two that I did finish out of this whole bunch. However, I have managed to make a lot of progress on this one right here. And on this one, I just recently started using again, and you can see a little bit of progress from last time. This purple shadow right here, I literally just repressed today because it was so crumbly and it was just it was making a big mess, so I decided to repress it. I was going to throw it away, but I said, you know what, I'm just gonna give it another chance. So I did repress it, and let me get it out of the pen. Here it is. Half of it is gone. I managed to use up half of it, which is really good considering I used this for the most part just for setting my eyeliner. So I think I did a pretty good job with this one, with finishing half of it. This other purplish highlight one, well, I call it a highlight because I use it as a highlight sometimes. This one also ended up being repressed. I'm guessing if I were to do the same thing I did with the purple one, it would be like a quarter of the way, maybe a third of the way. Here, full. So the rest of it from here down would be empty. So there's not a lot, a big ways to go on this one. I just haven't been focusing on using this one a whole lot or as much as I did the other ones. Let me give you a close-up of these other two shadows. This one here I've been using pretty much on the daily for months, and maybe, yeah, for months. So that is what I have left of that one. And this one here is the one that I had no hope for, and I did manage to make more progress than I thought I would, but still I would have liked to have seen more progress than this. But all in all, I mean, It's more than I thought, but less than I thought at the same time, if that makes sense. I think I will continue to use these or to work on these for a while I decide what I'm gonna do with next year's panning challenge. As for the long highlight shade that I had going on, I had two pans that I had depotted that highlight into, and one of them is completely gone. So I am left with this one. And this one, as you can tell, there is a very big dip going on. I don't know if you can tell or if it's not in focus, but I have a very big dip going on in this one. So it won't be too much longer before I hit pan and before this shadow is gone as well. I am for sure going to continue working on this one because it is what I used to set my eye primer with. So this is like an essential shadow for my everyday look. No matter what look I do, I always use this shadow. I had brought in this white shadow from Wet n Wild, and it is this one right here. So as you can see, I have expanded the pan on this one. My goal was to use at least half of it by the end of the year. I might get it done. I still have a couple more weeks left, and I'm just going to continue working on this. Once I'm done with half of it, I'll just set it aside and get to working on something else. And then there is this other one which unofficially made it into my Pan That palette, which is this shade right here that I had from an Avon Duo, and I did have it, I believe, in a project pan, if not several project pans throughout the year. This is very, very densely packed. I have been trying, I've been using it like crazy, but these little Avon Duos just last a very extremely long time, which can be a good thing for a lot of people. But when you're trying to pan a shadow, densely packed shadows they're just a nightmare to work with. But I do enjoy using this shadow, and I'm glad that I am getting the use out of it rather than it getting thrown away. So one more look at my palette for 2016. Here it is. Here you have it. I completely depotted the blushes as well, so they're no longer here. Those will be rolled over to another project that I will be doing for 2017. But all in all, this has been my first project pan ever. Pan That palette ever, and I have to say I am hooked on it. I am constantly looking for other palettes. What am I going to pan next? It has been a great experience to go through this project and go out and support other project panners and look at their progress as well. It has been an interesting year, and I hope that if you are thinking about doing a project pan, even if you are not doing videos, if you're thinking about panning a palette, I highly encourage you to do it, because trust me, you are going to like it. So I want to thank you guys so much for sticking with me and following me throughout this whole year, and I can't wait to get started on my next palette. I will have that intro coming up in January, if not by the end of the month. I think by January for sure. So I am going to get to looking and seeing which palette I want to pan next, and maybe talk myself out of it and then back into it, and going through several options, and etc. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will be seeing you in my next video, and y'all have a very great rest of your day, night, evening, whatever time you're watching this video. Bye.